Welcome to the Italian Grape Geek podcast. Join us as we explore personal stories of travel and tasting with Italy's must-know grape varietals. Chart your own course with My Italian Grape Geek Journal, your personal tasting companion to accompany the series. Available now on Amazon. With thanks to Colangelo and Partners for their generous support with this project.
Welcome to the Italian Wine Podcast. I'm Cynthia Chaplin, and this is Voices. Every Wednesday, I will be sharing conversations with international wine industry professionals, discussing issues in diversity, equity, and inclusion through their personal experiences working in the field of wine. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and rate our show wherever you get your pods. Hello, and welcome to Voices. This is me, Cynthia Chaplin, and today I am absolutely delighted to welcome Baia Abuladze to Voices. Baia is the owner and founder of Baia's Wine in Obcha in Georgia. So this is the first time that I've had the chance to speak to a woman winemaker from Georgia, and I'm so excited to have you with me. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for inviting, Cynthia. That's my pleasure.
It's great. It's just great to talk to you, and Happy New Year. Thank you for making time in a very busy holiday week to have a chat with me. I'm very interested in Georgian wines, and I have a lot of colleagues who are very busy writing about Georgian wines and talking about them. So I'm anxious to come and visit. So you're the closest I can get this week. So I thought it would be a good week to be able to talk to someone from Georgia. Recently it's been agreed and concluded by scholars and scientists and wine people all over the world that, Georgia is more or less the actual birthplace of winemaking. We found artifacts there that are over 8,000 years old, and they show evidence of wine remains. So you are part of a hugely long tradition. And I know your family's been in the winemaking business, for personal use at home for a long time, since before you took over. So what brought you into the professional winemaking business? What gave you the idea to take your family's, small production and turn it into something much bigger? Tell us about the story.
Yeah, and first of all, you are always welcome to come to Georgia, and we'll be happy to host you and show you the way we are doing. For me personally, it's huge responsibility to continue the huge traditions and to be a part of new generation of winemakers here, and also like to continue the way of winemaking our ancestors did done for a long time. And on the other hand, for every people who is always connected to the wine, then it comes to the DNA and it comes to the everyday lifestyle. So that makes me very happy and very also proud to continue and to be part of the great waves of winemaking and viticulture by itself, which is very much connected together. Because wine is not something comes from the chemistry, it comes from the grapes, and it comes from the soil itself. So that's the whole connection, and that's the whole line of the life.
That is so true. That's one of my favorite things about wine, is that it really brings together, history and culture and, the landscape, the soil, the climate, the people, the kinds of grapes. It all comes together in one tiny glass. It's such a magical thing to be part of. So what made you decide to take the small business and turn it into something bigger?
So my family was always doing wine, even in communism time. And my grandpa was enologist from the occupation. He was always teaching us. And when we were kids, tiny little kids, we were playing in the vineyards, and we were playing with this beautiful seasonable work. But since I grew up, then I found out that wine was very important things. But on the other hand, we were very small farmers, and we were just 2-hectare owners, and it was not really easy to get started. And then when I was seeing the other farmers, small farmers, then they were able to bottle wine and to label them and to also sell them to different countries. And it makes me very happy and makes me believing in that doesn't matter if you're a small or big producer, you can always make your dream and make your own production and even sell them to various places. So
that is great. It's nice to hear about not feeling daunted by being smaller than some of the big guys. I think you get to be much more of an artisan and a craftsman when you're starting small. So, how challenging was it for you as a young woman in Georgia? It was only just really 10 years ago that you got into the wine business. What was it like when you first started out?
So even cannot believe that almost 10 years passed, but it's true. Um, the main challenge for me and for our team was the experience, because we were experienced in viticulture, we were experienced in winemaking, but then there's a huge line of different things, different skills you need to have, sustainability of the producing and way of bottling or labeling and doing all the documentation, meeting right people, and then start also selling your product. And it was very challenging from the beginning, but I was very kind of lucky, because step by step we entered to different levels, from very tiny numbers of local market, and then exploded to the other places. So it was very challenging from the beginning, because you need to have a lot of finances to have sustainable production itself. And also, if you want to have well-established winery, then you need to also have well-managed grape fields and right number of the producing bottles. So, but step by step, this years passed, and then we were able to grow up a bit from the 0 point to now.
It sounds like it was a gigantic learning curve. I think you've explained the wine industry in just a couple of sentences there. There's so much more to it. And whenever I talk to people who are not in the wine industry, they think it's all fun. Everybody's just standing around tasting wine all day long. And that is not true. So there's a lot of work.
Actually, tasting is the best part.
That's true. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a hard job, but someone has to do it. That's right. The fun thing about Georgia too is, similar to Italy, Italy's got over 500 native varieties of grapes on the National Registry. And, you told me yourself, Georgia has at least 525, and potentially more were lost. During communism, they were making massive commercial wines, not a lot of great quality. So let's talk about your vineyard now. You said you started off with 2 hectares. How many hectares have you got now, and what grapes are you growing? Because I'm very interested to hear which varietals you're working with.
So actually, the diversity is very important. I believe in the wine producing, and Georgia has its own very great base for being very diverse, and almost each region of the country has their own varietals. For now, we do have 18 hectares, and the whole years we were just dreaming and aiming to buy new terroirs and to work on the soil and to cultivate them on the right way for red and white varieties. For now, we are using 5 local indigenous variety for our region, and 3 of them are white. Soligor is one of them, mainly planted. And then we have Grafana variety and also Tichka variety, and all of them are having beautiful acidity and flavorful potential of in the aroma and taste. From the red side, we are working with 2 varieties. They are Aladasturi and Othanuri Sapere. So they are lower matured, light in the body, and then very interesting with the acidity and aromas it has.
This sounds so fascinating. I'm excited for my trip to visit Georgia. I've been dying to learn more about these wines, so it's fun to hear you talk about them. I'm glad you're the one who gets to pronounce those grapes, because I'm sure I couldn't pronounce those grapes. So I know you really got your winery up and running, as we said, 10 years ago, around 2013. And you are using bioorganic techniques in the vineyard and traditional clay Kevri in the cellar. So what was your decision-making process based on? Did you decide to go down the bioorganic path and use traditional, earthenware vessels in your cellar, or were you already doing that? It's not easy to be bioorganic. So what made you decide to do that?
So actually, we live in the same village, and like our house is surrounded by the grapes and vines everywhere. So whatever we're spraying is coming back to us. And my family was always doing and like including moon cycle or like taking care on the grapes in a very natural and organic way. So we are using different sprays, and it's not an easy and like right way always, but when you have high humidity and a lot of rainy days, but it's more work, but depends on the precise and very researchable work by itself. And then like we decided to like continue in the organic production way. And on the other hand, like the varieties which we are working with are very much sustainable and adapted to the climate and environment we have there. For sure, we were having very heavy years. Like um, last year was super humid and super rainy, but we were successful in the end for the harvest and did our best, like 24-hour work, mostly in the field, because we also have the new plants and they need like double and triple, let's say, work and attention to compare to the old plants. And we are talking about clay pots and crevices, like that's also our family tradition to always make wine inside them. And what we're seeing is that so grape came from the soil, grape came from the mother nature, and they go back for like newborn inside the like mother nature again. Very like inside the clay pots, we always have the right temperatures, like very slow process of fermentation and maceration, and we do skin maceration, which is also like kind of traditional way because grape skins outside are including a lot of interesting like yeast. So fermentation is starting by itself, and then like the whole like sweetness is combined to the right alcohol, and that's the way our ancestors were using, and that's the way our like family was always producing wine. And sometimes we also made the mistakes, but then every year we're studying how to create wine and how to blend them and how to work on the right way. It depends on the maturity level of the grapes or like acidity level of them.
I agree so much with what you said about living in your vineyards, and anything that you spray comes back at you. I really agree with that. We struggled here in Italy, and I'm loving your story because it's very similar to what I have here in Italy. Same type of weather problems this year. It was humid, it was wet. We had a lot of peronospora and mildew. Are you spraying copper? What are you doing?
So we are using copper sulfate sprays. And in the early springtime, when we have bags, then we are also using some oily preparations. And but very limited per hectare because like it doesn't matter if you use the like maximum size, then you don't really do anything good. And also like our region is very fertile, very green region, and we have a lot of grasses, but we work with the cultivation or we work with mulching them and cutting the grass on the right time to also protect the cover. And also like while me, my sister, my brother, our parents, and very nice team works behind this viticulture work, then like we need to like have the responsibility of our own health and our own like happiness working with something very valuable and very good.
Well, it's true, and I know your winery is still very much a family business, and you run it with your brother and your sister. How's that going? Being with your siblings all the time? Are you the boss? The company's named after you. Do you make decisions together? Do you boss them around? Your name is on the label, so at the end of the day, you want everything to be right. And you've got some wines now named for your sister, Gavanza. So how is your brother Georgie doing? His two sisters are bossing him. Tell us about this relationship. What roles are you playing in the winery? How does it work being with your brother and sister all the time?
So I feel that I'm very lucky to have a chance to work with them because like they are very open-minded people, and Guanta's background is master of agronomy, which is like super crucial and super important for us to be to be ready for any challenges inside the field. And also Georgi's background is enology studies, and like he knows a lot of about techniques and a lot of about like very important things of blending wine. And but he's super supportive, and he's the one who is saying that I need to follow up my sisters, and then like let's build up everything together. I don't need a special label, but I need to be together and build up the winery together with you. So like the thing is that we almost do not have a holiday days or something special, because like we know that we need to build up that process now, and we need to follow up the process now, because 10 years later, then like everything will be very late, and still we have a lot of energy, and still we can do 300 like more than 350 days like per year to work together.
Coming back to America, Vinitaly International Academy, the ultimate Italian wine qualification, will be held in New York City from 4 to 6 March 2024. Have you got what it takes to become the next Italian wine ambassador? Find out at vinitaly.com.
Well, I know in 2015 you took part in an agricultural startup competition in Georgia, and you won $2,000 as a grant. So what did you do at that point? What did you do with the money? What was the effect that it had on the winery? You know, it can't have been easy in those first years. As you said before, you need the finances. You didn't even have a car. You had to deliver wines, you know, on public transport. So, you know, how did you get all this going and manage to keep going? And what did you do with the grant? Who supported you? Who encouraged you and helped you and guided you?
Oh yeah, like that years was super like heavy, and but we were very much like motivated to continue to do even distribution by the public transport, and take care of these heavy boxes to the right places. So like we got the grant for the exact labeling, and we bought also the small bottling machine, Italian one actually, which was working really well for our small production. And then like the like labels we created was very nice, and we were using them to the local market, and we were able to have chance to participate in different wine fairs, having these fancy bottles and labels, and like meet people for tasting and for talking about the wine. So that was the kind of first process, because our family came from a very rural area, and we were never being able to bottle wine before and even think about selling or think about like concentrating only on the grapes, because like back to 1990s, it was very like heavy to create the financial values and to create something like to earn a lot of money for your small business ideas. But even $2,000 was very right time value for us to restart and to relabel our own dreams on the bottle.
That's incredible. That's so great to hear that, you know, that's a small amount of money, but it really changed your business at just the time you needed it to do. So, you know, very wise use of a small grant, and it clearly was so important to Baia's wine at the time. And I know that now you're part of the Georgian Farmers Association. You know, why did you join that association, and how did all the other farmers react to having this, you know, lovely young woman join up with them?
So I feel that associations are always having a very important value, because it connects people, and it also gives you the chance to open your mind and to meet different people with different backgrounds and share their success stories. Actually, our biggest nudge was the chairwoman, Nino Sandachite, from the association, and she was super supportive. And then like she opened a lot of doors for our small winery. Like she connected us to the media, and then local media starting to visit our winery and visit our region, and then Like she also bring us to different trainings for skill management and for different very important trainings as well, because when you manage something, you need to have those skills back to you, because in the small production, no one has a team with different like managers or financial people or accountants by itself. So you need to restart everything from your side, and then you will get a chance to hire people for that. So we are still members, and we are seeing how great value it has for every farmer.
Well, I know you and your brother and your sister kept studying through all of that development and all the challenges that you were faced with in the early years when you first started. How did you all cope with studying and working at the winery and managing the vineyard and building up your business? It sounds like an enormous amount of very hard work. Was the Georgian Farmers Association part of helping you through that, or did you just have to power through, the three of you, on your own?
So we were lucky that I'm the oldest in the let's say team. So then I started working like in the fields and in the winery. Then my sister was having the chance to study on the master level, and at the same time my brother also were having chance to study analogist studies by itself. And they all come back with different visions, and for us it's very important to share new things and to share new stories. So all the wines we created is always under the observation, and when we are seeing that we like some product, for example, we like 4 years ago we fell in love with pet nuts. These bubbles came naturally to the bottle, and we said that we had a great basis of Pitka variety with high acidity and a lot of interesting minerality. So we created the bubbles out of this variety, and then um, I think that being always out and seeing what's happening in the area of wherever you work uh, brings you back to your production, and brings this uh, new values and new ideas to create something new.
Pet Nat is so popular all over the world now. How is yours doing? Are people loving it?
People fell in love, and we start from like 600 bottle production, and now we do almost like 10,000 bottles per year. And we are saying also to diversify them, because we do have this Lambrusco style pet nut. We do have very light ones, and we sell them very actively during summertime in different countries, like in Japan or in Norway and Sweden. So,
That's fantastic. Clearly all of this effort really paid off. I know the United Nations Development Program recognized you for being a bold and strong entrepreneur and supported you in a business training program. And in 2022, the EU granted your winery some financial support as well. What did you do with all of this? Let's talk about how important these grants were for you, because clearly this is something that's really helped you along. Do you think enough women are getting enough government support in agriculture and in wine?
so like I feel that when you develop something, like extra finances are so much helpful that you almost like win around 5 years. So like mostly our main concentration was to build up the grape fields, and we were paying all the money for soil, for like new tractors, and for like new roads and planting and all of the very heavy financial things. And then like United Nations came up with a grant program, and we were able to buy a very sustainable, let's say, bottling and packaging um, lines, and now we can bottle around like 100 bottles per hour, and we are now able to have this gorging machine for pet nuts, and some filtering machines are very important, very useful uh, things for the production by itself. And I think it's easy to get access to the finances, and it's getting also easier because now a lot of things are coming up for small producers to help them to be more sustainable in the production way.
That's good to know. That's really good to hear. It's so encouraging because small producers are the future, and it's good to know that it's not that difficult to get grants from the EU. I think my husband is from the UK, and Brexit was a big mistake for the UK. My father-in-law's a sheep farmer, and they lost all of those grants. So I think you're absolutely right. These things are so important, and I'm glad to hear that it's not difficult to get them. But let's talk about the wines and the winery and the business. How's it going today? How many wines are you making in total, and how many bottles a year? And you said you're selling outside of Georgia, so I want to hear where you're exporting to.
So, I'm very lucky to say that now we are exporting wine into 15 countries in the world, and UK is also a very beautiful part of it, with different other places of European Union, and also United States, and then some very nice Asian countries. Very new for Georgian wine itself. For now, our production is around 30,000 bottles, because still new vineyards are 2 or 3 years old plants, and we need to wait to develop them and to to get the new vintages in the next 5 years. So also we have a small secret that we are building the new winery, and we are seeing that new plants will have a right place to be matured and to be fermented.
Well, it's not secret now. Our listeners are listening. They're going to be looking for your wines now.
It's almost finished. That's why we can speak about that loudly. And that's a beautiful way. And I can say that none of the seasons of the year are even those days of New Year's, we are working inside the cellar to taste the wines, to blend them, to rack the wines, and there are a lot of interesting work even now.
That is great. That is so good to hear. I know you're also working with the Cardano Foundation, and you're using their blockchain system. Can you tell us about this process? Why is it so important for your wines to have access to blockchain technology?
So that was a beautiful project, which was offered by the person who is very fell in love with our wines, and it was the first time in the country of Georgia that winery used the blockchain system to add extra value.
Wow, I didn't know you were the first one in Georgia. That's great.
Yeah, and throughout the project, we also built up the possibility that in our back labels there are QR codes, and then the final consumers can get all the information regarding to the terroir or viticulture processes, and everything connected to the single bottle they have in the table. So
that's really good. For people who don't know, blockchain in wine, it just helps preserve the authenticity and sort of how the wine has passed through hands, the logistics of the wine, and where it's come from, where it's been sold or bought. So preserving that provenance is really important. And especially when you're creating such a traditional, special product as you are, having blockchain early on in your winery is probably going to be super important for the future of your wines. People looking back at the old vintages will want to make sure that they have all of that information at their fingertips. So it's very interesting. I didn't realize you were the first in Georgia, so that's fantastic. Well, you must be an amazing role model for girls in your community. What advice would you give to young women in Georgia now who want to get into the wine world?
So now you can easily find very successful women winemakers and young women winemakers in any of the winemaking regions of Georgia, and it's very important because women were always behind the scenes and behind the labels, but now we can see them in front, and now we can see how nice wines and how tasty wines they do, and also on the other hand, you can see that Um, Even very small and tiny producers are very popular in the export markets or in the local market. That's very helpful, and that's I think the very new vision and very new future for wine of the country of Georgia.
And are there women in, the sommelier roles and, wine buyers, wine exporters, or, aside from winemakers, what else are women doing in wine in Georgia these days?
Oh, you can find a lot of sommeliers came from WSUT courses, and also they lead the restaurants, and they lead special wine bars here. There are also a lot of people in the media, and actually they do a lot of blogs on or writing the articles in the let's say in the journals, and they are super popular here.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. I'm glad to hear that women are finding their way into wine in Georgia in all sorts of ways. I think it's important. People don't really understand how many different kinds of jobs there are in the wine industry. So that's really good to know. And I know that you were named as, 30 under 30 for winemaking in 2019 by Forbes magazine. So I have to ask you what your plans are for the winery for the next 5 or 10 years. You said you've got the new winery being built. Where do you see yourself on New Year's Day in 2034, 10 years from now?
Well, for winemakers, to talk about the future plans, it's very easy because you know that where you will be over there. And let's say I wish to plant all the vineyards we're having, and I wish to also have well-established winery with 150,000 bottle production, which is not super high, but not super small. And also a lot of muscles and a lot of motivation to continue searching new things, and also making our family happier and healthier as well. So.
Oh, those are good wishes. I think that's a very aspirational plan. I'm going to wait to see this 100,000 bottle wine production. I bet it'll be sooner than 10 years. You sound like you're working so hard. So thank you so much for giving me your time today. It was really great to hear what you're doing and to learn a bit about Georgia. And I am going to come and visit you this summer. I'm going to keep in touch and come and see you. So give my best wishes to your brother and sister, and Happy New Year. And we wish you all the best of luck for 2024 at Baia's Wine.
Oh, thank you so much for giving us such a great chance and start the year with such a great combination. And I wish you all the best also. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening, and remember to tune in next Wednesday when I'll be chatting with another fascinating guest. Italian Wine Podcast is among the leading wine podcasts in the world and the only one with a daily show. Tune in every day and discover all our different shows. You can find us at ItalianWinePodcast.com, SoundCloud, Spotify, Himalaya, or wherever you get your pods.